size 14 scud hook, 7/64 bead, and this is going to be the 1 minute egg. And we're going to start with the bead at the back of the hook, and we're going to start our thread by the eye. This is a little abnormal tying method, but it's not hard. So we're going to slide the bead up, and then on the underside of the bead, we are going to secure it into place. And I found if you secure it only on the underside, this actually turns this hook into a jig hook. So it'll float with the hook point going up. And I've been fishing this pattern for about 1.5 years now and have never had the bead break. It's a really easy fly. So get the bead into place, then we're going to use some of this, which is the row yarn. You can get it in a bunch of different colors. Other stuff, what I used to use is called ecstasy. Very similar materials, they're essentially the same thing. And we're going to start by removing a portion of the tips here, which is just like you do chenille or anything. Rip it off and it will expose 2 small strings. And we're going to go ahead and tie those 2 strings into place. And the important thing here is going to be making sure that you start those behind the eye of the hook. If you go above like that, it's going to make it a mess. Really difficult to clean up the head of the fly. So we go ahead and tie those in a little bit behind the eye. And I squish it all the way up to the bead. And basically what you're doing with this is you're creating a body to this fly, or it gives it volume with the bead being where it is. I saw this off a Devin Olson pattern a while back, and this is essentially the same fly, except rather than a jig hook, this is a scud hook. And this is pretty much the only one of these that I make anymore. Orange bead, and then one of these row yarn colors. And do 2 to 3 wraps up, just constantly swiping the material back with my left hand. Then get my fingers a little wet and pull apart the fibers where you'll have a clean tie-in point here. So basically I just made a valley, so I shouldn't trap as many fibers. You still will, but that's just the nature of this stuff. So do 1 good wrap over, 2nd wrap, 3rd wrap. Do a couple wraps in front of the eye, maybe 2, 3. And then this is where you need good, nice scissors. If you're just trying using junky old ones, it's not going to get it very clean. Because you're trying to get as tight as you can to the thread wraps to cut this stuff, and it can be a little difficult to chop because it is strong. It's a synthetic material. And now we're just going to create a head, clean everything up nice, and I will do a double whip finish. And typically I'll hit it with a drop of super glue, and these things they will wreck fish. They sink well, they float hook point up, it looks like an egg on stock trout, that sort of thing, or even wild trout. These things will wreck fish. So it's a great pattern to be fishing in our fall, winter months, spring months, so basically all the time. But yeah, it's a great pattern. 1 minute egg, there you go.